Welcome to Lynn Cullen Live. Talk radio without the static. Email your questions and comments to lynncullenshow@gmail.com. And now your host, Lynn Cullen.
And hello to you on a beautiful Monday in February, the 13th to be exact. Day after the Super Bowl, which I want to say was a really good game. And it's nice when it is. And I thought a great halftime performance as well. I suppose I'll speak more about that. It's funny because during the game, I got a message from a friend who I haven't seen in ages, but a friend since grade school days, and one of the few people that I have managed to keep in touch with. And she texted me something about how she just hated the halftime. I mean, and I had the sense that she assumed I would agree with that. And I just decided, I texted back. I didn't in any way tell her that I disagreed. I acknowledged certain things that could be taken either way. I don't know. I was shocked because I was thinking, man, this is good. But I was reminded throughout that, again, the Super Bowl is about the only shared in real-time experience that Americans still have. I mean, there used to be many others, especially when there were just a few television stations, broadcast stations, and we would all end up watching the same things at the same time. But that's been a long, long time ago now. And the Super Bowl is about all that's left. Even, political events like State of the Union or an inauguration or something, those are not as shared as they used to be, simply because of the political division in the country. And I was very aware of that the whole time I was watching, that Americans of all stripes, on all sides, of every demographic you can conjure, are watching and experiencing the exact same thing. So my friend's reaction to something I was enjoying and she found horrible was an indication that this event is different in that we segregate ourselves so often in what we take in, what we enjoy, what we consider as, entertainment worthy of our time and attention. And this one is the only one where we're all as a nation still together, even if we're reacting in dissimilar ways to some aspects of it. And that's a powerful thing. I saw a graph 2 days ago, and it was a graph of the 100 highest rated television shows in American history. And it was a graph that was set up, with little squares, rows and rows of squares. Most of the squares had been colored in the same color. And they represented by far the top 2 or 3 rows, and then scattered about throughout the rest. And those little squares were all Super Bowls. I mean, I think 2/3 of the highest rated shows are Super Bowls. So, in a country which, is now marked and marred by this refusal to be united, or inability to be united, whatever, the Super Bowl is powerful in that way. And other things I was thinking about it. Okay, so we have the one thing left that brings Americans together, and it is brought to us as an entertainment, because, of course, we, as a culture, are the entertainment culture. We expect to be entertained at all times. And things that you don't even think of as entertainment are entertainment, such as, we've talked about this a million times before, such as the news. And the most successful entertainment company is not a network. It is not a Hollywood studio. It is not whatever. It is the NFL. It is the biggest entertainment entity in the country, certainly, perhaps the world. I don't know, maybe soccer beats it, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Here, it's the NFL. And its power is amazing. Just amazing. I was taken by how every aspect, they don't miss an opportunity to have a storyline, a narrative to draw you into the smallest thing. Flip the damn coin and can we get the game going? Oh, no. No, we've got to revisit the horrific death of Pat Tillman, which am I remembering correctly that Pat Tillman was killed by friendly fire? Am I remembering that right? Anyway, so before the game gets underway, we have to have heroes. And everyday kind of heroes, unexpected heroes. And so we go from Pat Tillman, and then we see other people, and there's all the militaristic stuff is always part of it. Even the jet flyby had to have something, a twist. It was the first all-female flyover. And it's like checking off boxes. All right, we're doing that. We got this one. We got the females here. We got the everyday. We got the vets. And of course, it drives some people mad. What drives me insane is the refusal to let any moment just be left. It's like I remember my mother years ago decided she wasn't going to any more Packer games. I mean, she'd gone to Packer games since the early 50s. She said, I'm not going anymore. Why? I said. She said, because I don't enjoy the experience like I used to. She said, there's all this stuff. You can't just cheer. You all have to cheer when that big board tells you to cheer and how to cheer. And she was reacting to the control that the NFL was exacting on the experience that we all together were having. Oh God, I don't know, guys. I mean, it's just mind blowing. Even the cutaway, they cut away to the loathsome Roger Goodell at one point that I saw, and he, of course, again, not a second is wasted. He is seated next to the mother of the Kelsey brothers, one player on each team, never happened before. And that's been a great narrative and story that the NFL has been using prior to the game. And so that narrative was so important. It was sitting next to the commissioner. And then next to her was the other big narrative. And that was Damar Hamlin. So that shot of the three of them sitting together made me just shake my head. Oh, God. Oh, God. They won't leave you alone to have your thoughts wander as you might want them to. They want to control where they're wandering. And the mastery of the NFL taking a near tragedy like Damar Hamlin, which in fact, of course, since he literally died in front of our eyes and then was resurrected. And so now it's become this miracle story of the great NFL, the fact that the stadiums have all of these life-saving that can take Damar Hamlin and have him live through this. We saw him die. And there he was, smiling, and at the Super Bowl. And so a story you think they'd want to go away, as it reminds people of how ugly and dangerous this game is. No, they embraced it. They turned it, the narrative, so that it's just another great celebration of the wonderful NFL. Which is now, I guess, giving underwriting free CPR classes. It's just, I don't know. If you are of a cynical nature, or if your media literacy is relatively acute, boy, the NFL, man, I just want them to take a breath. Leave us alone for a second. They lucked out. The two best teams made it to the Super Bowl. They played a great, entertaining game. I, by the way, was rooting for the Eagles. I wasn't sure who I was going to root for. And thank God I didn't really care. Because it's hard to lose a game like that. But I decided to root for the Eagles just because of, well, Pennsylvania. And then it was solidified when I heard that tomahawk chop thing start up by the Kansas City fans. And I thought, oh, okay. I'm going with the Eagles. I can't believe they're still doing that. I remember that horrible sound when the Pirates played Atlanta Braves, and those Atlanta fans would start that. It just made me go insane. It's, first of all, just so obviously, how is that different than like blackface? I mean, it is just such a, sometimes I disagree with people getting upset about, things like, oh, well, that's appropriation. But that making the glorious indigenous peoples of this country into some kind of cartoonish, chop your head off. Even the fact that the Chiefs are still called the Chiefs when the Redskins ain't anymore and the Cleveland Indians ain't anymore. And it's just fascinating when some people just hang on to that which is obviously offensive. I don't know. And the other thing that I think I see now is, the game is a slow game. There's 60 minutes of supposed action. But even in that 60 minutes, there are times when, people are standing stock still, right? And if they move, it's a penalty. But there's maybe 48 minutes of actual action, and yet the game takes 3 hours to play. So it's a slow game. And there's things that need to, fill in the blanks. And I think it struck me last night that instant replay, which some would say really screwed the game up because it slowed it down further. The NFL, again, has taken instant replay and uses it to ratchet up drama, to create controversy, so that on what appears to be a relatively simple play, all of a sudden, people all over America are arguing about whether or not his knee touches the ground there, or does he have control, as we look again at a million different angles of it's absurd. It's absurd. And I've often wondered why the NFL allows it. Last night I figured it out. They allow it because it's more entertainment. It's a new kind of entertainment inserted into the game. Where we argue about control and where the ankle is, where the foot was, where the knee is. And controversy is an entertainment, go-to. That's how you get people to stay and watch. Oh, I don't know. Some other things I think Rihanna was amazingly good. I don't know her music, and I couldn't understand any of the words, and it doesn't matter. What I was blown away by was the incredible ability to put on this 15-minute show that managed to be visually mind-blowing if you were looking at it from a bird's eye view, like we often were, or intimately, like we often were, because the television audience could be right in the middle of it and could also be way, way, way back and having we got so many different perspectives and views. And the way the choreography and the brilliance of camera angles and where to go and how to shoot. And they actually managed to make it entertaining for the people in the stadium, which is not usually the case. I think a lot of times people thought, well, we can play to one audience or the other, and the audience we're going to play to is the huge one, the millions and millions and millions. But this one managed to put on a spectacle that worked for both those audiences. And it was just incredibly, I thought, visually mind-blowing, just wonderfully compelling. That's what I thought. I don't know what you thought. And I thought, geez, she looks, I mean, she had a little tummy. There was a tummy there. And I thought, didn't she just have a baby? But I guess, man, yeah, she did. And then she just got right back and decided to have another. Pretty impressive that a woman as pregnant as she appeared to be could be jumping around, dancing like that. Wow. Pretty amazing. I thought the commercials generally sucked, but I didn't. I walked in and out a lot, so I didn't. Did I see what was the commercial about? Somebody help me here. I swear it was about electric cars, but it seemed to be, it was electric cars, but playing off of erectile dysfunction. I couldn't, will it have enough staying power? You know, the fear of somebody about to buy an electric car. Will it be able to perform as, you know, what was that about? I mean, besides clearly being about erections and electrical vehicles. I'm trying. What was that? And Rocky Blyer showed up a few times. And I want to say this about Rocky. What blew me away is all of a sudden I thought, geez, Rocky, you know, he and I grew up in the same neck of the woods. He grew up about 28 miles south of where I grew up. He in Appleton, me in Green Bay. And, you know, Rocky Blyer, he's supposed to talk like this. You know, he had a good old Wisconsin accent. And as I listened to him do his commercial things, I realized he pretty much got rid of it, because you'd have to be a spokesman like he was. And I just want to credit, hey, Rocky, my God, I just can't imagine how much work went into it, because when you speak a certain way, to change, to lose an accent, as much as he has lost his, takes work. It takes study, and it takes practice. So I found that, whatever, worthy of a second's comment. Also, when Mahomes got injured again toward the end of the first half, he was running. He shouldn't have been. He was taken down, and he limped off the field, the ankle again. And the announcers said something like, well, so we hope this isn't it, but they'll essentially what they were saying without saying is they're going to take him in at halftime, and they're going to inject him with copious amounts of painkillers so that he will definitely trot back out onto the field and play. And the fact that they just were so open about saying that, the littlest reminder of what the NFL does to its players. That if you're anyone else, if your ankle is hurt, I assure you, no doctor would tell you, just shoot yourself up with bunches of painkillers and go out there and run all over it again. You know, just get in, go on out there. So he would then not feel the pain which is telling his body, hey, cool it. This isn't good for it right now. So the NFL shoots him up, so he goes back out and plays on an ankle that's injured, but he can't feel it much. So the game go on, because you can't let the star attraction not play the second half. Oh, God. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. And then the thing that was so depressing, the Jesus ads. Now, I've seen them before. They've been popping up on my screen. But in the Super Bowl, they were selling Jesus. It's odd. I just want to say. Odd. There was one that I couldn't figure out because it was like images from January 6th. It was like angry people. It was like the America we knew. No, too much. And I was worrying that, oh my God, what is this? What's this for? And it turns out it was Jesus. What the heck? So, you know who's behind those ads? I'll tell you, Jesus ain't. No, he had nothing to do with it. Poor guy. Man, he gets misused and abused. Man. No, the end of, I guess, all of these ads is, it says Jesus is the answer. And those ads cost a ton of money. I mean, hey, a Super Bowl ad costs a lot of money. They had two that I saw. So, whose money is that? It turns out it's a company called He Gets Us. And this is a subsidiary of a Kansas-based charity that exists, this is from their mission statement, exists to facilitate revolutionary biblical generosity, whatever that means. And this group, foundation, has given tens of millions of dollars to the fight to ban abortion, to the fight to allow businesses to discriminate against gays and anyone else who they determine are an offense to Jesus. The Southern Poverty Law Center has designated the group behind those ads as an anti-LGBT hate group. So I just wanted you to know that the Jesus is the answer ads are a gay-hating group. That's where the money is coming from. The money helped draft the Mississippi abortion law that was at the heart of the decision last year to ban abortion. And they're now really going down on the religious freedom thing so that a business could refuse service to trans people or gay people. It's amazing. I don't know. If you want to know more about him, the head of it said that the goal of the company is to invest about $1 billion over the next 3 years towards its branding campaign. So, poor Jesus. God. Jesus doesn't need branding. He's had 2 million years of all kinds of people heaping all kinds of stuff on him. And he's about to get some serious branding help. Also, some of the money, and this won't surprise you, has come from billionaire David Green, who is the guy behind Hobby Lobby. So, just so you know, next time you see a Jesus ad, and apparently, according to this, you're going to be seeing a lot of them. I'm sorry about my voice here. I don't know what I get. Was I screaming at the Super Bowl watching it? I don't know. Yeah, thank you. You guys were ahead of me. Hobby Lobby is a major. It's Hobby Lobby. Milton also tells me Pat Tillman did die from friendly fire. Oh, and Milton, he sent me the premature electrification ad. Oh, so it's premature ejaculation, premature. So is it it's anti-electric? What is it? Was it an anti-electrical vehicle ad or a pro? Must have been anti. I don't know. You know what? When you don't get the commercials anymore, you are old. You are so old. I have a caller. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, I wish they'd do away with the national anthem at ball games, but I don't. Maybe it's just me, but I don't understand the attraction to this Chris Stapleton. I tried to go on some of his videos a while back, and they said, "Oh, look at his great solo! It's just fantastic." So I go listen to it, and I'm like, "There's nothing there." I don't get it. And the guy, there's so many great guitar players, but he is not one of them. He can play, but it's like, I don't know if it's that style he has, or some of his songs are okay. I don't understand America. And I keep thinking that he probably plays a Republican's outfits. That's what I kind of think. Is that country music?
I don't think that's necessarily the case anymore, that you assume that the country stars are all Republicans. I don't know.
A lot of them.
I thought he did a good thing. Did you watch the Grammys?
No, I don't watch that.
Okay. Well, yeah. He played along with Stevie Wonder, I think.
Oh, okay.
How's that for a? And it was good. That was good.
Yeah, maybe I didn't see that.
But no, I don't think his rendition. I didn't think either. The America, whatever the first one was, why you have to have that, I don't know. And then I didn't think either of them were particularly good.
Yeah.
I mean, not memorable. But I'll tell you, I'll put Rihanna's halftime show up there with the best halftime shows.
Yeah, her singing's good. I like that, but it's I don't know.
You're an old fart, okay? Just accept it. That's okay.
I know my son.
All right.
He raves about him. I'm like, man.
Okay, so you're just an old fart. Don't. You're entitled to your opinion, as is your son. So, I never even knew who Chris Stapleton was till I watched the Grammys. That's how out of it I am.
Yeah.
So yesterday was the second time I've seen him. All righty. Well, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Stupid thing to talk
Bye. That's fine. No, fine. Let's hear it for stupid things. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Oh my God, is that a balloon? Is that a balloon? I see flying. I see a balloon. This is just, this balloon shooting down stuff is just made for mockery at this point. How many balloons are we going to shoot down today? I mean, seriously, you wouldn't want to be a balloon floating around the United States right now. I'm just telling you. Put the word out to all the balloons out there. Be careful. The dangerous time to be a balloon. Speaking of dangerous, and wondering if, while media chases balloons and we scramble jets. Here's what I want to. You know that train derailment, like right over there, a few miles away, right there on the border with Ohio. That fiery thing with all those chemicals. Yeah. Where they blew it up, sent all that crap into the air and into the water. I'm asking. Some people, again, now I don't know, some people are thinking that this is like Chernobyl, or it's like Chernobyl in that what we've got here is government covering up what really was a true disaster, and that we're not being leveled with. Now, again, we live in a time when you don't know who to believe, which is a hell of a time to be living in. But I have wondered, since the wind blows this away, and since we here in Pittsburgh are already living with horrible air quality, really bad air quality, just because it looks nice, like this blue sky today, doesn't mean that the oxygen you're taking in when you live around these parts is good. It's filled with small particulate matter that can cause all kinds of death and destruction to humans. And you got to wonder, so they blew all that stuff up and it went up into and then it came this way. We've already breathed it in, I suppose. Am I the only one who's wondering if this is maybe worse than? And see, here's the thing. I have seen on social media people saying, and because I'm not seeing a news operation acknowledging it, I'm skeptical. That's how old-fashioned I am. But I'm seeing that people are saying that there are dead fish and cattle and other animals being reported in 100-mile radius of the derailment. Now, that strikes me as something that, yeah. Well, first of all, I'm sure there are, excuse me, dead fish and cattle and other dead things in a 100-mile radius. Whether or not they're caused by or were caused or whatever, I don't know. But do you feel like there's more of a story there than we're being told? I'm just asking. And this other thing is backing up to something we've talked about before. The AP African American History course that Florida loudly refused to carry. And then the resulting thing with the college board saying, oh, no. I mean, there was a lot of, you didn't know, again, who to believe. when I first talked about this story, I said one thing. Then one of you texted me, messaged me with a television interview that the College Board people had done on CBS This Morning, which I did watch. And it seemed to suggest that they were trying to say, oh, no, nothing happened here. But then I'd read something else, and it was so clear again that we were like, people weren't being honest. And then, lo and behold, today, the College Board, I believe it's today, sent this long statement out. And there are some things in this that are fascinating, where they essentially call the Florida folks liars. So I'll read some of this to you because it's fascinating, not surprising. They're calling out having been played and used to create a fake story and outrage, which is what Ron DeSantis specializes in. Much like the shipping of those poor asylum seekers, sticks them in buses and buses them. I mean, he is a vile human being. Some of what people are saying, and I am aware I have some callers. Let me just get some of this in. College Board put out this statement. We are proud of this course, but we have made mistakes in the rollout that are being exploited. We need to clear the air, set the record straight. And they go on. They say we deeply regret not immediately denouncing Florida's slander, magnified by the DeSantis administration's subsequent comments. Our failure to raise our voice betrayed Black scholars everywhere. Anyway, they go on and on and on, and they talk about how this was all performative on the part of Florida and its Department of Education. All propaganda, all intended to create the kerfuffle that it did. Just another few things. While it has been claimed that the College Board was in frequent dialogue with Florida about the content of this course, this is a false and politically motivated charge. Blah, 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 blah. We had no negotiations about the content of this course with Florida or any other state, nor do we receive any requests for agreement. We were naive not to announce Florida's rejection of the course when they first notified us. And then they show the letter where Florida notifies them. And listen to this. This is from the Department of Education of Florida. It's headlined, CB Letter AP African Studies. And African is misspelled. I kid you not. All right. We have made mistakes. So it's a mea culpa, but and they talk about Florida's derision of the field of African American studies. We have asked them what blah, 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 blah. They have failed to answer. The College Board condemns this uninformed caricature of African American studies and the harm it does. Anyway, just want to tell you, College Board finally doing what it should have done the first day. Any of my callers still there? Hello?
Hi, Lynn. It's Dave from Washington.
Dave from Washington. Hi.
Hi. Real quick thing about the Super Bowl. What freaked me out about the halftime, I have this thing about aerial performances, high wire acts, that sort of stuff.
It makes you nervous?
No, I think when I was a kid, and I wish I had inquired about this more back when my parents were alive, I think we were at a fair or a circus or something happened.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what. I don't know if somebody fell or
somebody fell
thing or what. I have no idea. But my family has always been very about circuses and that sort of live performance thing. And I don't know what happened. I wish I had thought about asking somebody back when I could have asked them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because something happened, but I don't know what. Anyway, so that freaked me out. What else? I was sitting here on hold listening to you, and I forgot what I was going to say.
Damn.
Yeah,
You're kidding.
I know what it was. Kansas City Chiefs, Atlanta Braves, the Cleveland Indians. I put those in a completely different category than the Washington Redskins. I mean, the Redskins, that's just blatant pejorative racism.
Yes.
Chiefs.
What
Indians.
What about the Blackhawks?
That's another Indian tribe. This is an Indian tribe.
It's a tribe.
It's a tribe. But it's not like you're naming your team, the indigenous population of wimps that we easily destroyed through conquest and pandemic. It's not meant to be pejorative. Chiefs were big and scary, and you want your mascot to be intimidating to their opponent, which is why I never did understand the Washington thing. But anyway, so the Chiefs, the Indians, the Blackhawks, things like that, I put those in a different category. There's a little bit more respect involved in those names. Although I get it. You shouldn't just pick somebody out because of their heritage, whatever.
Because it's only focusing on this sort of the heritage of our view of them as warriors, because we were slaughtering them all the time. I think left to their own. I don't know. Yeah.
It certainly. Yeah. There's no defending the Washington football team. Okay, I mean that there was.
Oh, they're vile.
There's really no way you could go with that one. But anyways, that's the way I see it. That as far as those other ones are concerned, they don't really bother me that much. But I guess if it does bother somebody else, then that's perfectly legitimate. Anyways, no flying trapeze, no live wire acts, nothing like that. They scare the shit out of me.
Okay.
So that's
I read today that she had on a heart. There was no way she could fall.
She was tied down to that thing. I did notice that.
Yes,
she had she was tied down. They all were. Even seeing it on TV, they're on a rooftop or something like that. I'm just always, no. Get away from the edge. Get away from the edge. I don't even like looking at the window if I'm way up high. All right, that's it.
Okay, you. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Stay away from the edge. Do I have a caller? Hello?
Hi, how are you doing? Hello, Lynn Cullen.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Hello, I am fine.
Oh, I remember you always used to say that. You haven't said that in a while, but when you were on the radio, everyone, I don't know even why I did it, but everyone used to ask you, hi, how are you? And you would go, I am fine. Oh, will you please quit asking me? I am fine. Hey, real quick on trains. One of the reasons I love living exactly where I live is I'm within a stone's throw, less than a stone's throw of those big railroad tracks where the Iron City Brewery was and where the the busway is.
Yes.
And my favorite thing is just the sound of them, especially at night when you're a train whistle and a train, chugging along on the trestles. But ever since you've been talking about them being loaded with poisonous chemicals that are going to kill us, thanks a lot. I sometimes have a niggling thought in the back of my mind while I'm trying to enjoy the sound, like, oh my God, we're going to die. And they did have a, not too long ago, that one in Bloomfield, and some people in Polish Hill were evacuated. But same tracks, I think, or the same route. But anyway, I didn't even call about that.
Okay.
Well, what I wanted to call about my favorite tweet regarding the dumbest thing to happen this week the tweet said, "Oh boy, when the UFO aliens fly by Earth, they roll up their windows and lock the doors." We're in a bad neighborhood. It's an incredible instinct for all Americans to shoot things down, and all these different congressmen posing with pictures of them with like an AR-15 aimed at a balloon. Unbelievable. But here's the thing. What if we do kill an alien or a UFO or an alien? They're going to be pretty damn pissed. They're going to align all their forces from their planet, if not their galaxy, and we're toast.
Well, yeah, but I suspect that aliens are not flying in balloons.
I think that maybe they might be undercover that way, you know. Remember Balloon Boy? No one remember. Nobody said any Balloon Boy jokes yet, at least not that I'm aware of. Remember that crazy thing, and it turned out to be a hoax? The dad knew the kid was locked in the attic, but he said, just hide for a few days. And the entire world was transfixed on that balloon, remember? For I don't know how long, but it was at least a couple days at least. And then it lands, no Balloon Boy. Oh, wait, he was in the attic. And then after that, in another twist, if you remember, it turned out that the dad was in on the whole thing. He knew the kid wasn't even in the balloon. So what if we shot that down and killed the Balloon Boy?
My God. All these
I don't know if
it's frightening.
I don't know if you remember, but I thought of it last night because it was the Super Bowl, and there was a book when I was a kid called Black Sunday. It was a famous author who did the book, and they made a big movie out of it too. With Bruce Dern was in it, of all people. And the plot was somewhat, if I remember, some evildoer commandeered the Goodyear blimp, and it was over the Super Bowl, and he had ricin poison or something, and they were trying to figure out how to shoot down the blimp or get the blimp down there. But as far as I know, the blimp is intact after last night, so good.
Huh. Well, boy, that's a lot of balloon lore you've got in your head. Thank you. And I do share your love of train whistles at night and the sound of them on the track. It's the sound of my childhood, the sound, I can hear them where I am now. And I think the only time I lived in a place where I couldn't hear trains at night was when I lived in Manhattan. That was the only place.
Could you hear subway?
Oh no, and on the pig farm. No. Just a whole different thing, right? Whole different thing. There's something so wonderful about train whistles and the clackety clack clack clack. But you're right. Now that we know they're carrying things that if they fall over, we're dead. It's takes a little sound does joy. Yeah, the sound really does transport you, to use a transportation word there for Pete Buttigieg. But yeah, don't be afraid of trains and don't be afraid of balloons. What are you going to do? You know, balloons got to be balloon and trains got to be train. All right, Lynn. Thank you, dear. Bye. Okay, guys, let me see. I've been told that the premature electrification ad was for, a gas-powered truck. Okay. So they were, okay. Well, in that regard, it was funny, again. It was a tongue-in-cheek message that it was still okay to buy a non-electric vehicle. Buying a real truck is the manly man's solution to the emasculating problem of premature electrification. Yeah, that's funny, actually. So that's funny. I should have paid better attention. The innuendo was actually funny if you can set aside the knowledge that many were cheering it as an anti-democratic, anti-climate, anti-woke, anti. Yeah. But that is what they're playing with, right? Barbara wants us to note that Rihanna was the first billionaire to be a halftime entertainer. And she's also the wealthiest female musician, one of the richest singers globally. She became America's youngest self-made female billionaire in last year. Well, she's got all those companies that she's a smart cookie. Whoa. Joe writes, there was a News Nation reporter arrested during a press conference by the Ohio governor, DeWine, about the derailment, and he was arrested by the East Palestine police. But what was that about exactly? And what's News Nation? Is that a reputable? You see how, I just don't, I hate it that you just don't, you don't know what's information, you don't know what's misinformation. Ellen writes, not many of the ads on the Super Bowl really stood out to me. But I have to say that the Amazon one was my favorite and brought a tear to my eye. It was the one that showed the effect the end of the pandemic lockdown had on a family dog. Oh, I didn't see that. The dog clearly missed his family during the day as they all went off to school and worked. And the dog let them know the upset it caused. Oh, is that the one where the dog was ripping everything apart by being very destructive until a dog crate was delivered by Amazon? When the crate was open, it was a little puppy for him to have. I saw the end. Yeah, that was sweet. Thanks, you guys, for telling me what I missed. We've got a call. Hello.
It's Jonathan.
Hi, Jonathan.
Hey there. I have to correct something you just said.
Okay.
The premature electrification ad was not for a gas-powered vehicle. It was from Dodge Ram, about an electric vehicle that they are coming out with next year. And I read an article about it, and basically it says that even though they're not the first to market, that they're going to be worth waiting for because they'll have a longer range. With electric vehicles, a lot of people have range anxiety. They're hesitant to buy them because, will they make it?
Yeah.
So that's what the ad was about. It was to wait for their...
But so the very fact, that I didn't quite get it. Then Kurt, who told me what it was, then he didn't quite get
exactly.
It's not effective if we all have to have it explained. It was too complicated.
Totally agree. Yep. It didn't do its job, but it was funny.
I realized about what is this about premature ejaculation and electrification. I couldn't figure it out. I thought it was clever, but I didn't know what they were selling.
Yeah, that's what it. I wouldn't have known either unless I read about it.
Well, that's
the deal. Yeah, my favorite was Bradley Cooper with his mom.
With his mother.
I love
it. Was
one.
cute.
Yeah.
But what was that for?
That was for T-Mobile. And I just remember that because they were wearing the colors all over the logo. You couldn't miss it all over the place because they were in a T-Mobile store supposedly. But I heard, I read where a lot of that one was ad-libbed.
I bet.
That was really good. I really liked that one.
Do you think the funniest line? Do you think the funniest line was an ad lib? Because it appeared to be natural. Where she said to him, he said, "Hey, I've had a war. He's been nominated for 1 million Academy Awards," and then she said, "Yeah, but you lost. You never won."
That's right. You never won.
You never won. And that looked totally, ad-libbed. It did.
And as only a mother could say.
Yeah, right, exactly. As only a mother.
Let me knock you down a peg, son. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Well, so did you think halftime was good?
I thought it was okay. I liked that it was simpler than most. A lot of times they try to stuff in so much that you don't know where to look. You can't follow it. This was a performance, and it was simple. And it allowed me to make a bad joke to my daughter. Because Rihanna was wearing red, and then there were all those people in the white suits. And I said, maybe she's a cherry in their whipped cream because this is Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh,
S-U-N-D-A.
my God.
Hey, look, they can't all be winners.
That's a groaner, but I appreciate the pretzel you had to turn yourself into to come up with it.
I got a nice eye roll on that one.
Good for you.
Thanks.
All right.
Love you, Lynn.
Thank you. Love you too. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Oh, my. Okay. We got everything straight now. Premature ejaculation, electrification, Rams with a very, oh, God. Okay. So, and I just want to say, Patrick Mahomes, oh my God. And I don't want to take anything away from Hurts. Oh my God, these young quarterbacks are just amazing. They're just amazing. And Mahomes is going to make people forget Tom Brady before it's over. He might. Tom Brady better enjoy the GOAT appellation while he can, because I got this sneaky feeling, if his ankles hold up, that Patrick Mahomes could beat him to that title. What do I know? The sun is out, the sky is blue, and the temperature's going up. There are flowers out. It's February 13th. We're fucked. See you tomorrow.
Lynn Cullen Live, Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at pghcitypaper.com. The opinions expressed on Lynn Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper or its advertisers.